Okay. We
Are you on mute?
I lost the feed completely.
Rabbi, we can't hear you.
we are now going to learn about different types of acrobatics. Now, I would love to show you a demonstration right in front of you, how everything is done. We're going to go through technically 6 different types of bowing that we do to Hashem. 6 different methods. And some we do all the time. We bow down during Shemon Esrei, we bend over. We cover our faces during Tachnun like this. So you're supposed to turn to the right. I'm not sure. There's a picture, several pictures of the Rebbe doing it. Some he turns to the right, some he didn't. And we're going to go to some of these other types of methods of bowing down to Hashem. And I couldn't find one place where you have a drawing, at least a proper drawing of all of them. But I did find a very entertaining video where somebody demonstrates all of them, and we'll play that soon, Amir Hashem. How do we get into this whole topic of different ways of bowing? We're talking about davening in shul. We're talking about how many aliyahs you get on a fast day. Because we have a story of Rav went to Bavel. In Bavel itself, he went to a city called Bavel, like New York City, New York. I don't know of anywhere called Pennsylvania, but you do have New York.
We have Miami, Pennsylvania.
We have the moon and Mars, Pennsylvania, Mike. And one of the things that took place when he was in shul was we tried bringing a proof how many people are called to the Torah on a fast day. You cannot bring any definitive proof from there. But when everyone bowed down on a fast day, everyone in the shul in Bavel, Shmuel did not bow down. And we brought several answers why that could be. First answer was that perhaps it was a stone floor in the place where he was standing in the front of the shul, and he didn't want to walk to the other part of the shul. He didn't want to make everyone stand up for him out of respect. So he didn't bow. Answer number 2, Rav bowed down in a different style than everyone else bowed down. Everyone else bowed down just on their knees. Rav bowed down also completely spreading out his hands and his arms and his feet. And we'll have a demonstration of that soon on the screen. And that you are not allowed to do on a type. Ula was a great Amir says you could do on a stone floor, a regular bowing, and therefore Rav did not want to change his custom, and therefore he did not bow down his way, and he did not bow down the other way, and everyone else in the shul bowed down. A third answer is the boy saying, if you wish to give a different answer, why did Rav not bow down? Adam chashuv shiny, an important person is different, that he cannot debase himself in front of everybody. What's embarrassing? Is it embarrassing to bow to Hashem?
Yeah.
So what type of embarrassment is there to bow to Hashem? Here's what could be embarrassing about bowing to Hashem. A person like me and you, we have nothing to worry about. A person like a Rav may not be able to bow down in front of Hashem. Like we see even Daniel davening in private. Many great people, when they bowed to Hashem, they did it in private. The Rabbi Elazar says, the Amar Rabbi Elazar says, Ein Adam Chashuv, Rashai Lipo Apanav, a important person, a prominent person, is not allowed to bow to Hashem in a way of being flat, lying flat, like this, outside the Beis HaMikdash. Inside the Beis HaMikdash, everyone bows like that. But a prominent person cannot bow down to Hashem flat on his face to recite Tachnun. Ela im Cain, unless Nena ki Yeshua ben Nun. He is so confident in his righteousness that he knows for a fact Hashem will answer his prayers, like Joshua, Yeshua ben Nun, the original Yeshua. If a prominent person, someone as important like Yeshua ben Nun, he knew that Hashem will definitely answer him. And in front of all the Jewish people, he fell flat on his face. Moshe Rabbeinu many times in the Torah, I think 10 times altogether, it says, "Vayipal apanav," he fell on his face. Lifnei kol adas b'nei Yisrael, in front of the entire Jewish nation, he fell on the daven to Hashem. Sometimes Moshe and Aaron together, but that being down to Hashem in a completely flat posture, spreading out your hands and feet, you have to be someone on the caliber of Moshe and Yeshua to be confident that Hashem will answer your prayers. Now, Rav was a prominent person, but perhaps out of humbleness, humility, he thought Hashem will not answer his prayers, and therefore Rav would not fall on his face, flat on his face in front of everybody. He'd only do it in private. So when he's reciting Tachanim, supplications, after Shemona Esrei, Rav was not allowed to fall on his face, flat, bowing to Hashem, in front of everyone. Yeshua ben Nun, Joshua, the very first Jewish leader who brought the Jews into Eretz Yisrael, into the Holy Land, Yeshua, he fell flat on his face, davening to Hashem in front of the entire Jewish people. Dichsiv, as it is written, and I have it open here on the screen. Maybe I don't. Maybe I erased it. So we'll open a new tab. It is written. This is with the Jewish people. They came into the land of Israel, and now they were supposed to have miracles, non-stop miracles. Miracle number one was in the city of Jericho, the key of Israel, the key of the Holy Land. And they didn't have to wage war against it. Instead, they surrounded the walls of the city. Every day, one time, the entire Jewish nation, led by the Kohanim, circled the walls while blowing the shofars on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And on Shabbos, they circled the walls of Yericho 7 times. You could see till today, there's excavated some of the stones of the walls of Yericho. See how big they are. You see 2 people standing on top of them. And these 2 people are minuscule. It's almost the size of that bank across the street. Well, I would say, without exaggeration. That small bank. And on the 7th time, the entire walls of Yericho sunk into the ground, and the Jewish people went and they conquered and destroyed the entire city of Yericho. They came to the next city.
Was this
and a big tragedy happened. What happened is that they went to attack the city of Ai, and the city of Ai came and fought back against them, and they killed 36 Jews. Can you imagine? Unfortunately, 1,400 Jews were killed. 21 soldiers were killed several days ago. You see the calamity. When 36 Jews died, the entire Jewish nation was in mourning. Yeshua was aghast more than everybody else. Hashem promised to deliver the land into their hands. 36 Jews were killed. They fled in disarray. There are opinions that say that it wasn't 36 Jews who were killed. It was 1 Jew who was killed. His name was Yair ben Menashe. Yair ben Menashe. Menashe is the son of Joseph. Yair ben Menashe was an incredibly strong person, brave person, and he conquered by himself in the Torah several cities and the neighborhoods as a one-man show. He was a tremendous Torah scholar. He was the head of the Sanhedrin. A Sanhedrin is made up of 71 people.
We're learning Mesechta today.
Learn Sanhedrin. And a Sanhedrin is made up of 71 people. And a majority of Sanhedrin is 36 people. And Yair, the son of Menashe, when he was killed, since he was the head of the Sanhedrin, it's like he was the majority of Sanhedrin. And so 1 person was killed named Yair. And it was considered as if 36 great people were killed. The guy himself, the Torah describes at the end of Parshas Matos, the very last pasuk, the very last verse of Parshas Matos, how Yair ben Menashe went and conquered Chavoseihem, and called it Chavos Seir. He changed the name of the city. And if he's killed at the city of Ai, something could go wrong. And what did go wrong was Hashem commanded that from the city of Yericho, Jericho, no Jew is allowed to take anything. It all has to be consecrated to Hashem. And one Jew named Achan stole a fancy robe and several gold bars, and it ended up, this Achan was actually a relative, I think, of Nachshon, and Achan was eventually, miraculously, through the Choshen and through lots, in a miraculous way, it was revealed who was the one who stole. And once he was put to death, the Jewish people went to fight Ai again, and this time they won the city of Ai, but this time they had to use military tactics. They had a false front, a false flag operation. Well, half the Jewish nation was attacking them from the front, and the people of Ai came out to pursue them, to fight them, and they pretended to escape, and the people of Ai were saying, "Oh, we're winning the Jews again." And after they all left the city, from behind the city, the other half of the Jewish army went and destroyed the city of Ai, and they're pursuing the Jews, and they turn around and they see smoke from coming up, and the whole city's on fire, and they realize that they lost the battle, and they're stuck. Yeshua is devastated when they lose the battle of Ai. Today, it was one of my plans, one of my dreams in Israel. Eretz Yisrael, they could take you on, it's called a Shiur Tanakh, go through every place in Tanakh, and that you're able to get to. And you can go to the city of Ai, the city of Yericho, Beis El, all these places. So 3,000 Jewish soldiers went to Ai, and they fled before the people of Ai. 36 men died. The people of Ai chased them all the way till Shvarim, till they descended, and the people became scared. Yeshua rent his clothes. Vayikra Yeshua simloisav, verse 6. Vayipol apanav arza, and he fell on his face in front of Hashem. It means he fell flat on his face, like this person over here. And he says to Hashem, until the evening, in front of the ark, the holy ark, where the luchos are kept. Him and the elders of the Jewish people, and they put dust on their heads. And Yeshua said, Hashem, why have you brought us over the Jordan River to deliver us into the hands of the Meiri to cause us to perish? And he davens to Hashem. And Hashem answered back to Yeshua, Kum, lach, get up. Why are you falling upon your face? The reason why this happened is Chata Yisrael. They have transgressed what I said, what I commanded them. That goes that they did not learn Torah that day. Right? And the other thing he says is V'gam lakchu min hacherem. They have stole from what is being consecrated to the Beis Hamikdash. V'gam ganvu, and they v'gam kashru and amsam b'chlayim. They dissembled it. They put it in among their own stuff. And you will not be able to conquer any of your enemies until you destroy from among you those people who transgress the word of Hashem. And then Hashem gave him instructions what to do, how to find out who the one. Everyone do teshuvah, national teshuvah time. And Hashem gave him instructions till they eventually found Achan. And Achan first denied it, then he admitted it. Before Achan died, Achan did teshuvah. He repented to Hashem, and to such a strong teshuvah he did that he was filled with nevuah, with prophecy, and he composed a prayer that we say every day, 3 times a day, called Al Kei Nekaveh, the Al Kei Nekaveh. Some people, some nusachs don't do the vav. Al Kei Nekaveh. The first letter of Al is Ayin. Second letter of Kain is Chaf. First letter of the first word is Ayin. First letter of a second word, alkein, is chaf. First letter of the third word is nekave. That makes up the word achan. Achan is the one who composed alkein nekave, and his teshuvah, thanking Hashem for giving us the land of Eretz Yisrael, and all the nations of the world, and our enemies will fall in front of us. So Yeshua, the Gemara brings a proof from these psukim how Yeshua fell on his face in front of Hashem, and he knew Hashem will answer him. And we saw Hashem answered him, told him what to do. Someone who's a Adam Chashuv, an important person, who's on the level of a leader, and unless they are confident that they are like Yeshua, Hashem will definitely answer, they cannot fall on their face in front of the Jewish people in public, because if they will not be answered, let's say they're davening for rain, and their prayers are not answered, Rashi over here says people will now ridicule them, saying, oh, he's not really so holy, or he's a sinner, and that's why he's not being answered. And because of that, we covered honor of chachamim, of sages, they should not fall down in front of on their face in front of everybody. So it's not like debasing to lower yourself in front of Hashem. It's a good thing. David HaMelech danced in front of the whole Jewish nation, and his robe lifted up to his knee from his jumps. That's okay in front of Hashem. But to fall flat on your face and not have your prayers answered could be disrespectful to the entire Jewish nation, to Torah scholars. So the Chsiva says, Hashem Yeshua kum lech. Hashem answered back, Yeshua, get up. What are you lying upon your face? And therefore, he should not be embarrassed in front of everybody else. It should not be a chilul Hashem, a desecration of Hashem's name. And people should know that you save this type of bowing for Hashem for only very special people and for very special times. Is a chazan considered to be an Adam Chashuv, an important person? Could a chazan bow down in front of everybody? The Meiri, I'm sure everyone's familiar with him, we mentioned him, one of the Rishonim. He writes that a chazan, Shliach Tzibur, since he represents everyone in front of Hashem, he is an Adam Chashuv. He's an important person, prestigious person, and therefore he cannot bow down in front of everybody. When everyone in the show bows down, the chazan cannot bow down in a regular way. He says the chazan has to bow, we'll see soon, toward the side, not in a regular type of way. Halachas are like that because at the end of the day, chazan not necessarily is chosen because of only because of his piety. He's chosen for his piety and other things as well, including his voice and other things as well. So, and there is a standard nusach. Back in those days, it wasn't necessarily one standard davening for everyone. Someone like Rav could add to his davening. And you could say his prayers weren't answered. But now you could say, if everyone's saying the same exact words, everyone could say, maybe he wasn't answered because of us, because we're all saying the same thing. For this next Gemara, the next Gemara is going to go through different types. It will bring a brisa telling you 3 different types of ways of bowing. And I cannot find proper pictures, but as luck would have it, we have Rab Eli Stefansky, and he is going to, with great acrobatics, demonstrate for us many of the ways, not all of them. So let me put this on the screen. I know you can hear this. Oh, there's a volume off on this. Volume's up. So like this. Let's go back a couple. See. Everybody. Let's make it regular speed. Playback speed 1 times. Let me have a new share. Share sound as well. Back into this. Okay. Now let's see if it works.
Here, take off your Gemaras, please. Back up, Rabbi, Dr. Epstein. Gemara off, everything off, all the way past that cup. All right. Here, pull the thing. Yeah, Givaldic. Baruch atah Adonai Mechillah Mashiach Tzivah. On the Sativ B'tzitzis. I don't do the whole thing like everybody else. I took off my shoes. Rabbi Isai. I'm rocking the MDY socks. I asked 3 Rabbonim if this is allowed. They said it is. I call in Nidrei. All right. That's not what I'm doing here. Rabbi said, I want to demonstrate to you four things, the six different things that we're going to learn. I want to show you all 6. Now, before we start, what is wrong with this picture? This is a picture I gave out. I showed the Olam back in the day when we learned. There are many mistakes here. This, I said, is Kida. It's pretty cute, it's funny, but it's not Kida. Kida, as we're going to see, is flat out. What's wrong with this? Hishtachava. What's wrong with this picture? Take a look at it, I'll show you. What's wrong with this Kriya? Is this Kriya? No. And what is wrong with this Tachnon? Is this a good Tachnon? Rabbi say, look, take a look. Is this good? What's wrong with this? It is the right hand. That's not the problem. Okay. Let's go. You ready? Here we go. This, Rabbi Yisai, is Kriya. And I'm not doing this for Ishtachava, I'm doing this to teach Torah. As you see, just the bent thing, the hands are up over here. That is Kriya. Zehu Zeh. I don't know if you guys know, but that's how it looks. Mendy said, That means he learned it yesterday and didn't learn Pshat like this. Right, Mendy? Did you learn Pshat like that? You did? Okay, great. What's Nefilas Apayim? This is what it's all about. Nefilas Apayim. Nefilas Apayim is like this. My hands are not going to be over here, but they're going to be over here. Face down. So that's Nefilas Apayim. I put this down here because the table is Davish B'Gdusha. We put down Svarim here. Even the coffee is Kadosh because it's for Torah. So I should not be on the table directly, so I put down the thing here. So, Pishut Yadayim V'Raglayim. This is what we want to talk about. The spread hands and feet like this. This is Pishut Hishtachava. Straight down like this. Whose house is this? Move that all the way back. Move it back. More. Shkoyach. Pishut Yadayim V'Raglayim. So now Chamol. Nefilas Apayim is down like this. Pishut Yadayim, feet spread also, hands spread. And then we have a fourth one. It's Matzli Tzluye. It's like this. Abaye and Rava were like this, sideways. Has anybody ever done that? Never in the history of the world. All right. All right.
So I did want to do a demonstration here, but I didn't think I was acrobatic enough for it.
Fingers on the toes.
Right, I have a picture of that. That's what we're going to learn about very soon. This one over here, if you see. Levi is doing this. And he actually, Rabbi Stefanski, later on, near the end of his year, he had even a better picture of it. Was actually in the next day's share, I think. Or that's another one. Okay. He had a good picture of it. It's basically a Kohen Gadol with after after this year, I'll look for it to have an exact where exactly. I think it was I don't remember where. Okay. So this is 4 different types of bowing. One called Kida, which you literally support yourself on your thumbs, your body weight in your thumbs and your big toe, and you bow like that, and you put your face into the ground. That's another type of bowing. That is very, very difficult to do. And we'll see about one of the sages who actually injured himself with that. Tana Rabbanan, our sages tell us, Kida, there's a type of bowing called Kida, which means bowing on your face. It says over here, like it says about Bathsheba. It says when Bathsheba came, Bathsheba was one of the wives of King David and Bathsheba, and she was a mother of Shlomo HaMelech, King Solomon, and she wanted her son Shlomo to become the next king and not a different son of David HaMelech. And she came to David HaMelech to ensure of that. And it says, "Vatikoy Bathsheba apayim Eretz," and she came in front of the king, in front of her husband David HaMelech, and she bowed with her face to the earth. That's Vatikad. And then Vatishtachul HaMelech, and then she prostrated herself to the king, and she says, "Yichi Adoni HaMelech David la'olam." May my king, my master King David live forever. So that means falling all the way upon one's face. Kriya al-Bikayim. Kriya means just on your knees, like we saw that picture of Reb Eli Stefansky showing us what it means to be just on your knees, no bowing down. So not like we do on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, just your knees. The Chenu Omer, so too it says, Mikraya al-Birkav. This is when Shlomo HaMelech, King Solomon, dedicated the first Beis HaMikdash, and he brought thousands and thousands of korbanos, sacrifices, animals in the Beis HaMikdash. They were lined up across the entire courtyard of the Beis HaMikdash. There were too many for the Mizbeach, and he davened to Hashem. And it says when Shlomo HaMelech, King Solomon, finished davening to Hashem, Kol HaTfilah V'Tchina Azois, the prayer and supplication, Kam L'fnei Mizbach Hashem, Yikroya Al Birkav, he rose from before the altar of Hashem, from kneeling on his knees, the chap of Prusas Hashemayim, and his hand spread out to heaven. That's Kriya. Kriya means kneeling on your knees, both knees, not one knee, both knees. That's a special form of bowing to Hashem. We don't do it to anyone else. There are some other religions which try copying that from us. But Kriya is one of the forms of bowing to Hashem. We don't do that anywhere but the Beis HaMikdash, now or except for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Hishtachava'a, bowing down, we saw that demonstrated as well. Zu pishuk yadayim v'raglayim, that is someone who spreads out their hands and feet. This person is hishtachavaya over here. Right. This person, lost the spot. This person here has in front of the altar of Hashem, facing the Holy of Holies, and he's spreading out his hands and his feet. This is just a demonstration, obviously an illustration. Don't think people were dressed in Western clothes back in the times of the Beis HaMikdash. Shneimar, as it says, this is when Joseph had his dreams, and he told the dreams to his father and to his brothers, and his father scolded him, and he told them, what is this dream that you dreamed? Do you think me, my mother, your mother, and my brothers will bow down to you on the ground? So that is how you bow down to a king. This is the way you bow to a king. Nefilas apayim is similar to that, except like you put your hands in front of your face like this. So Shtachavada is bowing flat on the ground, prostrating with your hands out. Nefilas apayim is with your hands in front of your face like that. Here's a story. I don't know what happened. Okay, next out of that. Levi, ach bekida kame de Rebbe ve'itla. There was somebody named Levi, and he demonstrated. See this person bowing on his thumbs, but this is not a real demonstration. After the Shiur Nether, I'll get you a better picture of it. Levi, he was a great sage, and one time he bowed down. He demonstrated in front of Rebbe Yehuda Hanassi how to bow, how the high priest, how Kohen Gadol would bow in the Beis Hamikdash, the Itla, and he became lame. He hurt himself so badly, he put too much stress on the wrong vertebrae in his back, and he became lame. In this form of bowing, the one who's bowing, brings her face to the ground from a standing position, and the only things he uses for support is his thumbs, and then he stands up. Since he's not using his hands to hold him up, he's only using his thumbs to hold him up. There's a lot of strain on the back and the legs. Try doing push-ups with your thumbs. It's sort of like that, except it's a little bit harder because push-ups, your face is level with your body. Here, your face is touching the ground, and your back is straight up while you're holding your weight on your thumbs. That's called kida.
It's hard as you get older too.
So a Kohen Gadol would have to be practicing this very often in order to keep himself up and keep him in shape. Most people will not do it. Levi tried demonstrating it in front of Rabbi Yehuda Hanassi, and thanks to Dovi, he gave me a list. I meant to download it, but we started too late. He gave me a list of Rabbi Yehuda Hanassi, but he is a grandson of the second Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel, who was a grandson of the first Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel, who was a martyr in the Beis Hamikdash.
And that's at the time when we were having war against the Romans.
Correct. And Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel, the first one, was a grandson of the original Hillel Hazaken. Hillel the elder came from Bavel, from Apollonia, back to Eretz Yisrael. And of course, Rabbi Yehuda Hanassi is the author of the Mishnah. He's very, very well known. He's called the Rebbe, the teacher. So Levi wanted to demonstrate to Rabbi Yehuda Hanassi how a person would bow down, and he became lame. He dislocated his hip. So you might think that this is something that nobody could do. So the Ritva actually writes, the Ritva, one of these Spanish Rishonim, that Levi actually knew how to do it properly. He was well practiced in how to do it and not to hurt himself. But there was a different reason why his hip became dislocated and why he became lame when trying to show it. The Gemara says, was it the act of bowing that caused Levi to become lame? The Rabbi Elazar says, a person should never speak a word of complaint against Hashem, towards heaven, towards Hashem. Because there was a very great man who one time spoke. He cast words of impertinence.
Impertinence, yes.
Oh, now I know what it is. Maybe someone could explain to me. Rabbi Label, I'm sure, could tell me what that is. It sounds like chutzpah.
Yes, something like that.
Impertinence, what?
Not giving somebody honor.
Not giving honor. So towards Hashem. And the itla. And he became lame because of, as a consequence of it. Umayyon, who is this great person? Levi. This great person was Levi. And I brought up the Gemara, which I'm sure Dovi remembers from when we learned Mesechta Tainis, which the Gemara over here says a story. Levi Gazer Tanesa. Remember, there's a series of stories of different fasts. When people fasted, the Jewish people fasted for rain. And Levi, in his place, he decreed a fast because rain did not come. It did not rain, and it was late in the season, and the crops will not be able to grow. and rain did not come. So Amar Lafanav, he told Hashem, he pulled out desperate times, called for desperate measures. Ribono shel olam, master of the world. Alisa v'yashafta b'marim ve'inatem merachem al b'necha. Hashem, are you making yourself ascend up high and not having mercy on your children? And he spoke in such a way to Hashem. Asa mitra, rain came. So he was successful. The itla, and as a consequence or punishment for his harsh statement towards Hashem, Hashem, are you not looking at us? Are you making yourself go up above? God forbid. Levi became lame. So you see the Levi was ready to put himself up on the line. And he became lame just in order that other Jews should have rain. Other Jews should benefit. See, tremendous and serious nefesh of Levi's part. Amar Rabbi Elazar says exact Gemara we have over here. In Megillah, a person should never cast harsh statements towards God on high, because a great person casts a statement against Hashem, towards Hashem, and he became lame. Umanu Levi, and it was Levi. So the Gemara, the same Gemara here in Tainus and Megillah, the Gemara says, so the Gemara asks, are you telling me Levi became lame because he was demonstrating how to bow down? Levi became lame because he spoke impertinently towards heaven. The Gemara answers, garma lay. Both this and that caused Levi to become lame. One by itself would not have. Levi, being such a tzaddik, had a protection from Hashem. However, once he spoke like that, that protection went away. And then once he strained himself in a certain way, which naturally could cause someone to become injured, so then Levi became injured at that time.
Not sure what the notes about Rob, that he didn't fall on his face because his prayers, maybe his prayers went in. How did they know right away? I mean, how? He said the floor even wasn't, it was okay, the floor.
Right, so if the floor was okay, why did Rav not bow down? There were three different answers given. One is that the floor. Okay, three different answers. One is that the floor was not okay. One is that the floor was not okay. The floor was stone.
I think it's in.
Okay. We'll do it. We'll get back to it after.
It was not made of stone. That's the footnotes.
Fine. Yeah. So there's three different answers. One of the answers is that the floor was not made of stone, but he was a prominent person. And a prominent person is not allowed to fall on his face, bow to Hashem in public.
In public?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that one of the notes, or that's just?
No, that's a Gemara. Yeah. In public, he's not, and he was a prominent person.
There was a guy that went to.
Guy that went to where, Mr. Minich?
Not you, remember you were at the JCC, you had to get on the floor to light the pilot?
Yeah.
So he couldn't get, it was a big guy, he couldn't get up, took 2, 3 people, get him back up.
Okay. I'm just gonna, without playing the video, I'm just gonna go through here his, what he calls Pishi Yadayim V'Raglayim, spreading one's hands and feet. And I'll go through the next,
There was one picture with half of them where they lay on the side. Is that?
And I'll find the.
General, how they did half of them then?
The pasuk is you have to see the end of the pasuk, otherwise it doesn't make any sense. Okay, let's go
a little bit further then. Oh, this is a picture I wanted to show. Kida. I don't know if you can see so well. You see this? This is the high priest in the Beis Hamikdash, and this is what Levi was trying to demonstrate. Let's see if you're able. I don't know if you're able to zoom in half a video.
What?
So you see this?
I've been training my whole life for it. I can't show off now. Kriya al Birkayim. So now.
So this is Kida, right? This person is supporting himself on his thumbs, on his large toe, and his face has to touch the ground. They might have push-up competitions in this type of push-up, thumb push-ups, and big toe push-ups, but it's a very difficult thing to do. And that Levi, you can understand, he received the strain on his back after he did that. Right, we will pause the Gemara over here, up to the last word, the last line, Amar of Chiyad, last half of the last line on 22b. And we will continue our Gemara Shiurim in Eretz Hashem another week and 2 days, because next week it's going to be winter break for the school, and I'll be out of town. Tomorrow there will be a Shiur in Eretz Hashem with Rabbi Darren at 10:30 a.m. It'll be everyone could join 10:30 to 11:30 with Rabbi Darren tomorrow. He'll be joining us on a Zoom from, I think, New York. And he said he's going to make sure his battery pack is totally charged before he goes to the Shiur. So tomorrow, 10:30 will be a Shiur Meis Hashem with Rabbi Darren, at 10:30 a.m. Next week, we'll all be off. You could spread the word. And shakayach everybody for joining.